Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello, Divas, and welcome back to the Divas That Care Network. My name is Candace Gish, and I have the privilege to be one of the hosts in the network. I've been doing interviews now for 9 years. I've had the amazing opportunity to interview women from around the globe, and it is always my pleasure when I have that opportunity, and especially to be interviewing today's guest. You know, I had the opportunity to interview her last year, and I don't really think I explained to our listeners how much of an impact this young diva has been a part of my life. She has one of the reasons why I decided to interview amazing young women. As I said, our program has been doing for 9 years, and I interviewed all these different women with businesses and things that they're doing, but I really felt that we needed to share the young diva stories. And this young diva is very empowering. She has been so inspirational, not just to myself, to her family, to her community, and so many others abroad. So I wanted to have her back onto the program to reintroduce her to all of you and to do like an update and see how she's doing. So as I said, I'm so excited about today's call. Welcome back, Melissa Smith.
Thank you for having me.
Well,
so happy
I'm
to be
so
here.
excited to have you. You, Melissa, are such an inspiration. And before we dive into everything, could you spend a couple of moments kind of reintroducing yourself to our listeners today?
For sure. Yeah, so my name is Melissa Smith. My story is actually about my journey with cancer. So when I was 15, I was diagnosed with bone cancer in my leg. Ewing sarcoma is what it was called. So my journey, it started off pretty typically, actually. I started doing chemo and radiation and surgery, but it kind of went downhill from there. So after my surgery, I had a 14-inch wound on my leg, and it just didn't heal. So my journey, I had so many different complications, and different things came up that weren't expected, and my treatment went longer than expected, and just everything that could have gone wrong did. So my journey is just about how I overcame that and took those experiences and decided to give back to the community. So I spent lots of time in the Ronald McDonald House throughout my treatment. So one of the programs that the Ronald McDonald House does is called Home for Dinner, where volunteers just come in and make homemade meals for the families living in the Ronald McDonald House at that time. So when I got home and I finished my treatment, I decided I wanted to get involved with that program at the Ronald McDonald House closest to my home. So I was able to reach out to my Facebook page where I had lots of people following my journey. And I was able to gather enough funds and enough volunteers to do 6 meals, as buying groceries and meal planning and everything. We did 6 meals through fundraising, and then an additional 2 when companies in the Stellar area donated and funded those meals.
I think it's absolutely amazing what you've done. And you've really brought a lot of individuals on your journey with you and inspired so many to do more, you know, in their community, but also through the Ronald McDonald House. So, and the Children's Wish Foundation, I believe also. So I think that's absolutely fantastic. And to inspire another person is so important. I think you've done that way beyond than I think you even realize, Melissa.
Thank you.
So you did all this stuff, and you did all these this volunteering, and now you're in university. You've graduated high school. You know, this happened 3 years ago. You're doing well now. How is university going for you? How are you able to balance life doing that?
It's really good, actually. So, fun fact, I graduated when I was 17, and so I moved to Edmonton and started university at 17 as well. And now the Ronald McDonald House in Edmonton actually requires volunteers to be 18 years old before they can volunteer. So that plan to just jump into volunteering here in Edmonton didn't quite work out how I hoped it would. But now that I am 18, I can finally start volunteering at the Ronald McDonald House here as well. So instead of jumping in with the Ronald McDonald House, I actually found another organization here in Edmonton called the Kids with Cancer Society, and I was able to volunteer with them over the last few months. So I helped out at their Halloween party in October, and I look forward to helping them some more in the new year.
Oh, my goodness. Can I ask you, what ever made you decide to start volunteering at a young age? I know that you were volunteering even before all of this transpired. Can you tell us a little bit about that? We do have a lot of young listeners, so I think it's really important to, kind of explain your journey on how you got into volunteering.
Yeah, so I think I've always had a passion and an aspiration for helping people, and I think when I realized that there's so many organizations out there that are just looking for people to jump in and help, I think that was kind of a moment for me where I'm like, okay, well, I'm able and I'm willing, so why shouldn't I? And I feel like I continue to have that mindset. It's like there's people who are willing to organize things and organize programs. They just need people to step in and help, and I'm willing to do that. So here I am.
Do you think it's harder for a youth to volunteer? I know that a lot of people are probably not too sure how to go about that, but do you find it, as being a youth in that, was it more difficult, or do you think it's like, well, no, you didn't find any of those problems?
I think there was definitely a little bit of both. So like I said, the Ronald McDonald House here in Edmonton required volunteers to be 18, but I didn't turn 18 until like 2 weeks ago. But until that point, I didn't really feel like I had issues finding volunteer opportunities. They were just maybe a little more specific and not as general as I maybe wanted to do. But now that I am 18 and I am an adult, I have way more opportunities to volunteer, but I don't think I had issues finding opportunities when I was younger, right?
Oh, I do. I understand that completely. It's something that I think having more organizations aware of that is probably a good thing. Because with yourself and your family, and I know a lot of other young youth, my children, they're always wanting to do that, and to allow a youth to volunteer in an organization, I think is very powerful. Not just for them, but for the other members that are volunteering. And they can see that, today's youth is really wanting to step up and really assist in as many things as they can.
Yeah, and I think if you give youth opportunity to volunteer, that kind of sets the habit for when they're adults, and they can continue to be volunteering as they grow up and get older and learn new skills and whatnot.
I love that, because that's what I believe that wholeheartedly also. Melissa, I'm going to ask you too. So for any of our listeners that are wanting or, looking for opportunities, what kind of advice would you give them? Things to look for, or, just advice in general for them?
Yeah, my advice would be just look around your community. Chances are there's organizations that you may or may not already know about that are just looking for people to help. And if you can't find anything in your community, you can look a little bit bigger. There's organizations that are all across Canada and all across Alberta that are just looking for donations or looking for volunteers, or there's lots of ways to help out. I think you just need to maybe step out and look a little bit deeper.
I love that advice, and thank you. We definitely have listeners from all around the world, and I think that within your communities, there's definitely a lot of opportunities that people can get involved in, not just the youth, but, for adults also, because I think that the more that we give out to the world, I think the more that we get back in return, because what an amazing feeling it has when you're able to assist and help as many people as you can in so many different types of organizations, and there's a lot of online things that I think that people can get involved in too. Well, I love that. Mm-hmm. So tell me, because you are in university, can you tell us what you're taking?
Yeah, so I'm taking a Bachelor of Science in Human Ecology with a major in Family Science. So my end goal with this program is to eventually work for Children's Wish Foundation or Kids Cancer Care. So I kind of want to take my volunteering to another level. I want to be able to give back in a bigger way, right?
Yes, I can see that. What an ambitious thing, and what a great thing that you're doing. And you're going to the University of Alberta, and you started taking this program. And wow, I definitely think that's amazing.
Thank you.
Your family has been, go ahead.
Oh, no, that's all right. You go ahead.
I was going to say, your family has been such a big motivation and a big support through the entire journey of this. Can you share a little bit about your amazing family? I have had the opportunity to know them. I think the world of your mom. I think she's such an amazing woman. So tell us how that has been for you. A lot of families are very supportive in this aspect, but I want to talk about your family. How has your family impacted you through this journey?
Yeah, so they've been a huge help. My mom has been my biggest supporter through everything. She was the one to take me to the hospital for all of my treatments while my dad stayed home with my sisters. And I don't know, I just think the relationship I built with my mom over that time was just so powerful, and we're still very, very close, and I call her like every day. Yeah, they've been amazing. I really, really love them. Actually, this semester I had an opportunity to write a research paper on a topic of my choice, and throughout my research, I chose the topic of how families are impacted by pediatric cancer. And it was really cool to do research and see how my family fit into those studies and into that research, and how it was kind of validating to see that how my family was dealing was the right way to deal, and that there was nothing else we could have done to make it suck less.
Oh my goodness,
and,
that's amazing.
We were able to get through it in the best way we could. And I think we're still dealing. It's the new normal. It never really goes back to the old way. But no, they've been amazing, and I think we're on our way to healing, and we're getting better. And I'm just really, really grateful to my family and the support they've been to me.
I love what you just said. And it does. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a journey, and it takes time, and I'm so happy for you and your family. And I just want to let all of our listeners know, I am just beyond grateful that Melissa has decided she is sharing her story in our upcoming anthology. So she is one of the co-authors, co-contributors to the Young Divas That Care book that is coming out in January. And this amazing woman has shared her story in this book with all these other young divas, as I call them, to inspire and empower all of you. And as you've listened to this show today, Melissa is absolutely extraordinary. I don't think there's nothing that this woman can't do. And Melissa, I can't wait to hear more of your story in the future. The things that you're going to do, I think, is beyond, even your expectations.
Thank you. I have to tell you, Candace, when you called me again about this interview, I had to go back and I had to read my short story again because it had been almost a year since I read it. And I have to tell you, oh my goodness, I hadn't thought about all those emotions and all those feelings that deep in such a long time. And it was really important for me to realize that I have that all written down in such depth, because I don't think I could have remembered all of those details if you hadn't had me write it down. So thank you for that.
Oh my goodness, you're so welcome. I'm just honored to have you a part of that, and and I hope that each and every one of you takes the opportunity to check out that story. And all of our proceeds for those books do go to charities. So we are looking for charities to donate our proceeds to that. So Melissa, again, thank you so much. I want to thank all of our listeners that have taken the time to listen to our programs over the last 9 years. In 2020, we're actually evolving our platform to do more interviews with the young divas, to do more interviews with women around the world. And we've actually now have 20 hosts for our program going into 2020. So we're beyond excited for the things that we're able to bring to you and the stories that we're sharing. So thank you again to all of our listeners. Thank you, Melissa, for everything that you're doing out there. As I said, I'm so excited about your journey. I'm so excited to learn more, and I can't wait for your story to come out in January.
Thank you.
So I hope that everybody has an amazing day, and Merry Christmas to everybody out there. And I hope that each and every one of you does something kind for somebody out there. For any of our other shows, please check out divasthatcare.com. I also posted some information about Melissa on all of our social media, so you can check her out if you want to get a hold of her. You can check out her Facebook that I have put up there also. So thank you so much to all of you. Thank you, Melissa, for everything that you do, and I hope that you all have a great day. Bye-bye for now.